If you could take it off and lay it down flat, it would cover 20 square feet. At 9 pounds, our skin weighs as much as a healthy newborn. This living largest of our organs performs a dizzying array of frontline activities on our behalf. It's a complex system, the body's version of a highly sophisticated border patrol, protecting us from natural and man-made insults.
Skin is the wall that keeps your inside in and the outside out. When that doesn't happen, you've got a problem.
Sometimes we ourselves cause those problems. On an average day, we cut, bruise, pinch, pierce, stretch, burn, or freeze it. But the truth is that most of the time, we simply ignore our skin. Unless a wrinkle threatens to betray our age, or a painful problem appears. In fact, our skin is the window to our overall health. It's interconnected with the rest of our body. An ailment in one part of the body can show up as a skin problem. And some skin conditions can alert us to disorders elsewhere. So we need to take it more seriously. But sometimes, no matter how much care we give it, things can go terribly wrong, and the skin is prey to diseases and other ailments.
The skin is what we present to the outside world. One of the most rewarding things about being a dermatologist is not only can I make my patients physically better, but I can make them feel better about themselves.
I'm Cheryl Ladd. As an actress, on an average day, my skin is exposed to multiple makeup changes, chemicals, hot theatrical lights, and extremes of temperature. So I know some of the things that can happen to the skin. In the next half hour, we'll look at some of those things, and much more. We'll show you the normal life cycle of your skin from birth to old age, what causes skin to age, and how you can slow it down, take better care of it, and protect it. You'll meet leading dermatologists and their patients talking about the damaging effects of the sun and other environmental assaults, and find out why a younger person can look much older than an older person. You'll find out what causes skin allergies and how to detect and prevent them. We'll introduce you to some people whose jobs are harmful to their skin, and you'll find out about the most common hereditary diseases. We'll show you how you can detect problems early and when to see a dermatologist. But most of all, you'll be finding out how you can take control of your skin and your health, how you yourself can protect and treat your skin and dramatically impact the way you live, the way you look, and the way you feel. Ah, the skin of a healthy 4-month-old baby. Smooth and strong, elastic and resilient. It's as strong as it'll ever be. The structure is intact, it's working efficiently, and the baby doesn't even notice it. And then we get a little older, and what happens? Puberty. We become all too aware of our skin. As we get hair in new places, our hormones increase, and we're plagued with skin breakouts like acne, the most common skin disease. And people used to blame acne on diet or lack of hygiene, but new understanding of acne's causes has led to the development of acne treatment drugs that really work. Today, even the most severe cases can be helped, and acne need not be a fact of life while growing up. It's in our 30s and 40s, however, when major permanent changes start to happen. Aging begins its relentless progress, leaving its unmistakable imprint on the skin. Let's take a look at the structure and normal functioning of the skin.
Your skin is basically your outside drape or covering. It's what makes you, you. It consists of 3 layers. The outermost layer, the epidermis, is made up of 3 different types of cells. First, cells that are closely packed together serve as a barrier to protect us from the ravages of the outside world. Second, the pigment cells are responsible for our skin color. And third, the immune cells, which filter out foreign material or dangerous substances. The second layer of skin, the dermis, is primarily made of collagen and elastic fibers, which give the skin its elasticity and strength. Wrinkles form in the skin when these fibers become damaged or lost. The blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatic structures are also in this layer, where they support the skin as a whole. The deepest layer, or the fatty layer, is what insulates us and actually serves as a shock absorber. The skin also contains hair follicles, oil-producing glands, sweat glands, and nails.
In natural aging, The epidermis, the part of the skin that we see, is relatively well preserved. But underneath in the dermis is where most of the changes occur. For example, we lose about 1% of our collagen every year after the age of 30. The elastic fibers that also reside in the middle layer of the skin of the dermis, especially the fine little elastic fibers that rise up and attach to the epidermis and allow it to maintain its integrity, they disappear. And what happens then is that you develop fine little wrinkles or crinkles throughout the skin. We lose our blood vessels, and this results in the skin developing a sallow or pale appearance. As we age, the pigment-producing cells disappear or die. Consequently, the skin overall lightens in all of us as we age. We develop excess deposits of fat where we don't want them. But in the rest of the body areas, we actually lose fat, such as the face, the arms, and the legs, making the underlying tissues more vulnerable to injury. Furthermore, loss of the fat diminishes our insulating capacity, thus making it difficult for us to tolerate the cold, just like the loss of blood vessels in the dermis makes it difficult for us to tolerate heat.
I love sun. I couldn't live without it, really. I play tennis, I ski, I work in a garden, I paint the house even, you know, in the sun, and what else? Bake on a beach and
But
just...
and you don't wear a hat? You don't...
Too much exposure to ultraviolet light not only causes cancer, but it makes you look older. According to some experts, the sun is responsible for as much as 90% of all wrinkles. Alcohol, smoking, diet, and heredity also have an effect.
Yeah, but you're going to destroy everything here. You just get out
At
there.
my age, you know.
Yeah, but you don't have to look like an old suitcase. Come
That's
on.
okay.
We ran this picture of me through the computer to show what I'd look like when I'm 75. Not a bad-looking old lady, huh? Now, take a look at me at the same age if I sunbathe a lot and I don't take care of my skin. Oh boy.
Let's take a look here, Melba, at your neck and shoulder. Oh, good heavens. As we take a look here, we can see that this skin is relatively well preserved. It's smooth. There's a little discoloration because even as we get old, we get a little irregular coloration and you get less pigment, but you don't see that variable pigmentation, that yellowish discoloration like you see on your neck. And it has real good elasticity, I'll bet. Let's take a look here. As I pinch your skin together, it retracts very briskly, as opposed to the skin on your neck here, which slowly retracts. And that's because all those elastic fibers which maintain the contour of your skin have been damaged by all the years of sun abuse.
You've just seen living proof of the difference between chronological aging, or aging due to time, as opposed to photoaging, or aging due to the effects of sun on the skin.
We've said it before, we keep saying it. There is absolutely no such thing as a safe glowing tan. A tan means that you've done damage to your skin, and yet new cases of skin cancer continue to be on the rise.
Ever since I was about 5 or 6 years old, I started playing tennis, so I've been in the sun for a lot of years, always in the worst hours of the day, in the midday sun. And I swim a lot, and I grew up really close to the beach, so I was at the beach a lot.
The sun emits ultraviolet rays. Those rays, when they hit your skin, cause sunburns, skin cancers, and aging. Ozone filters out some of those dangerous rays, and the fact that the ozone layer is getting thinner means more of those rays are hitting the Earth, causing skin cancer rates to rise worldwide.
I grew up in an era when it was very fashionable to have a tan.
If you have a spot on your skin that's growing, bleeding, crusting, or changing, have it looked at.
One night when I was shaving my legs, I realized that I had a very dark freckle on the lower portion of my right leg, and I noticed it being really, really dark, almost black. So that's when I brought it to the attention of my dermatologist.
I remember my parents saying sunshine was vitamin D, and I lived in Brighton Beach in Brooklyn, New York, and during the winter times, my parents would even take me on a beach chair, and we'd bundle ourselves up with blankets and have a sun reflector, and that sun reflector just roasted the skin. Well done. I dare say that, as was explained to me, the damage that I had as a youngster keeps on popping up, and I think I've had over 80 basal cells and squamous cells analyzed, removed, treated.
1 person dies each hour from skin cancer. and 1 in 3 cancers is a skin cancer. And 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in his or her lifetime.
Well, there are 3 basic types of skin cancer. The most common kind is the basal cell carcinoma, which occurs primarily on the face. 1/3 of all of them occur on the nose. Although the most common kind, it's the least likely to spread. The second most common kind is the squamous cell carcinoma, which occurs primarily on chronically sun-exposed areas. It can spread, but not very frequently. The worst kind is the malignant melanoma, which makes up about 5% of all skin cancers. But a melanoma is potentially deadly because it spreads very early in its course. A melanoma the size of a dime on your skin has a 50% chance of having already spread throughout your body.
Malignant melanoma, the most dangerous form of skin cancer, is projected to affect 1 in 75 persons by the year 2000. That risk was only 1 in 1,500 in the 1930s, when tans were unfashionable. In 1994, physicians treated more than 700,000 patients with skin cancer, and that number is expected to rise rapidly each year. And the sun causes more than 90% of those cancers.
A lot of people think they can escape the damage of the natural sun and still get a tan by soaking up the rays in a tanning bed. They couldn't be more wrong.
I repeat, there is no such thing as a safe tan. The non-medical use of artificial ultraviolet light, as found in tanning beds, penetrates deeply into the skin and can be equally dangerous as the sun. You should also be aware that if you're taking a medication like thiazide, ibuprofen, or tetracycline, you can more easily and severely burn both in a tanning parlor and in the sun itself.
You should try to examine your skin on a regular basis. Certainly on your birthday, have your birthday suit examined. If you have your skin looked at once a year at least by a professional, then you can spot these things. The good news is if you catch skin cancer early, it's a treatable disease. The problem occurs when you let it go.
So what can you do? First of all, by now we probably don't need to tell you to stay out of the sun. Damage builds up over the years. That bad sunburn you got when you were a child permanently changed your skin. If you have dry, sensitive, or easily irritated skin, you should wash with mild cleansers and follow up with an effective over-the-counter moisturizer. Scientists are exploring ways to slow down or reverse the effects of aging, but they don't need to know any more about the harmful effects of the sun to tell you to apply a sunscreen of SPF 15 or more every day, whether you're indoors or out. And remember, you need a sunscreen even if it's a cloudy day. If your job requires you to be outdoors a lot, wear protective clothing and apply an even higher SPF sunscreen. For more information and to receive a free booklet with more details, please call the 800 number on your screen. The sun's not the only environmental element giving your skin a beating. Fierce winds, extreme cold, and dry air can do a lot of damage. Everyday substances and industrial chemicals can also be dangerous to your skin. They can cause rashes and other reactions. Your job may even be harmful to your health. In fact, occupational skin problems are a leading reason why people miss work.
We divide environmental skin reactions into 2 types of contact dermatitis, allergic and irritant. An allergic reaction is one where a patient will react to a substance where another patient may not. An irritant is something almost everyone will react to. Soap and water, for example, is an irritant for this nurse.
I find my hands getting sore and raw and cracked. It's washing and scrubbing all day. They've got to stay clean, so it's a tough balance.
What the soap does is to remove all the natural protectants, the protective layer of oil, the lipids from the surface of the skin, so the skin becomes leaky. What looks like dryness and chapping is really the result of inflammation.
I heard you wanted about the same. Well, I'm a hairstylist, and I'm around a lot of different chemicals, bleaches, colors, conditioners, hairsprays, constant aggravations to my skin. It gets red and blotchy, it starts to crack, it's just a mess to live with.
The hairdresser, unlike the hospital workers, has an underlying skin disease that's made worse by chemicals she works with. She has atopic dermatitis, and that's made her sensitive to many compounds. It's not an allergy. in which the immune system rejects something that's fundamentally innocuous. Rather, the eczema has made her skin easily penetrable by many things she works with, which then irritate her. The problem here is a failure of the skin's barrier function.
Other people who are likely to get irritant dermatitis are garage mechanics who work with solvents, painters who are exposed to turpentine and paint thinners, and cement workers. But it's not only jobs that cause allergies.
I don't know what it is, but they're such pretty earrings. I wish I could wear them.
Does anything else make you break out?
I've been trying a lot of different makeups, and sometimes I get bumps, especially around my eyes.
Well, does it look like a little case of poison ivy right under your eyes?
Kind of, yeah, a little one,
Well, you may
little
be
red
allergic
bumps.
to a couple of things.
Okay.
The ears sound like nickel allergy. It's typical for earrings to do that.
Uh-huh.
The other rash, though, around your eyes may well be an allergy to something else, so we should test to a few different things. One of the allergies we most commonly find in patch tests is to nickel. 10% of all women are allergic to it. The culprit may be your belt buckle, a zipper, even keys, but primarily it's found in any metal jewelry that isn't 24-karat gold or stainless steel. The simple rule of thumb is if you're allergic to it, don't wear it. Other substances likely to cause skin allergies are fragrances and preservatives that may be found in skincare products and even some topical medications. If you see a rash that doesn't go away, have it looked at. It could be an allergy if it's itchy and blistery. Your dermatologist can do a patch test or a biopsy.
It's important not to ignore these problems. People often say, oh, it's only a skin disease, it's not life-threatening. But it is a serious problem if you can't sleep at night because you're itching, or you can't concentrate because you're in pain. We've seen how the environment, the sun, the wind, and chemicals can powerfully assault our skin. But sometimes the storm strikes from within. For reasons that baffle even the scientists, the skin breaks down and disease sets in. Countless millions of people in the United States suffer from the physical and emotional grip of these conditions. Just how wrong the skin's inner workings can go, no one knows better than the kids who come to Camp Knutson each summer.
So what was the name of that joint you went?
Last summer, at Camp Knutson, it was real fun. I tried water skiing, but I wasn't that good at it. And I met a lot of other kids with like worse conditions than me, better. But I mean, we didn't have to put on appearances, so I mean, it was we could be ourselves.
The kids at Camp Knutson are between the ages of 10 and 13, and they have a variety of skin problems. A lot of the disorders are inherited, so these are kids who've been sick since birth, and some of the others have chronic skin problems that came on in early childhood.
They're 7 years old, they're in 2nd grade. They both have atopic dermatitis. One actually has it more severe than the other. They developed it when they were about 2. It came out, it covered their bodies from their neck all the way down to their legs. They scratched all the time, especially at night. Gabriella used to scratch. I'd go to her room in the morning and pick up a handful of skin in the morning off the floor.
They have better and they have worse times, but these particular children are never totally clear. The good news is that most kids with eczema do eventually grow out of it, but in some severe cases it can last a lifetime.
I got psoriasis right about the age of 14, and it's really tough, you know, with the blemishes on your face and things at that age. You know, the kids can really put a lot of pressure and, you know, really focus in on it and make fun, and it can hurt.
Patients with psoriasis often feel very self-conscious. They have very visible red, scaly spots all over their skin. Contrary to what a lot of people think, psoriasis is not contagious. Psoriasis is most commonly found on the knees, the elbows, and the scalp, but in severe cases it can be located anywhere on the body.
One of the things I've learned is, I guess probably when I was in my late 20s, was I learned to control the disease or the skin disorder rather than let it kind of control me.
All of these diseases can take hold of patients emotionally, inflicting intense pain. That's why patients often find a support group filled with those who know firsthand the anguish of their disease.
It was called alopecia universalis, which is total hair loss, no hair at all on your entire body. I think one of the most important things in dealing with this is to know other people that have the same condition and you know, be able to share your feelings with them.
And I said, this is a wig I have on. I have it too. And his
Was
face
he in
just
denial,
lit up.
like, I don't have it?
Right.
Is that a wig you have?
Even though we don't know what causes alopecia areata, there are treatments that can help. We use creams and ointments to try to stimulate the hair to grow, or even sometimes cortisone injections right into the scalp. The hair follicles are still alive, so they can, in some cases, be stimulated to regrow.
As we've seen, some skin disorders don't have a cure, but treatments do exist for controlling them. And the future for problems from skin cancer to genetic disease to scarring looks bright. Scientists have already found solutions to skin conditions which were once impossible to fix, cure, or change.
The laser light is like the miracle light.
When I was about 14, my friends and I decided to have tattoos put on. They're homemade tattoos. I've decided now that I'm getting out of college and I'm going to be going on job interviews, I want the thing off because it makes a bad first impression, I think.
We're able to remove them with the laser, leaving virtually no scar. That's a major breakthrough over a few years ago.
Lasers, once the stuff of science fiction movies, are now in regular use in medical offices. Port wine birthmarks, once a permanent and emotionally traumatic skin condition, can now be safely lightened and removed by the intense beam of a high-tech laser.
It's almost to the stage where we can routinely use them to treat skin cancers such as basal cell carcinoma and lymphomas. It is used over wrinkled skin, and it literally, by passing the light over the surface of the skin, can smooth it out. Now that we are actually able to grow skin, we can take the patient's own cells, a few cells, and put them in a tissue plate and grow sheets of large amounts of cells. All types of interesting research in trying to develop vaccines that will help prevent malignant melanoma, which is the most dreaded and fatal skin cancer.
You know, it's different when you have a skin condition because unlike other medical illnesses, you wear your skin condition on your sleeve. People can see your skin problem. Patients with high blood pressure, for example, don't walk around the street and everyone knows they have high blood pressure. But if you have psoriasis or something like that, your coworkers and friends will know. So there's always kind of an emotional aspect when you're dealing with patients with skin disease. And that's a part of what we have to do as dermatologists, is to help people not only with the medical part of their illness, but with the emotional part as well.
We hope you've learned that the future of your skin is here now, and it's in your hands. The skin, as you've seen, is more than just an outer wrapping. It's a complex organ designed to protect us from the environment, from bacteria, viruses, and chemicals. If you follow a few simple steps, you can prevent premature aging and turn potentially life-threatening conditions into curable ones. The most important things you can do to keep your skin in top condition are avoid sun exposure, use sunscreens properly, and give yourself a regular skin examination every year, maybe on your birthday. Early detection of skin cancer greatly increases the possibility of a cure. And finally, remember, whether it's dry skin, psoriasis, or acne, we no longer have to learn to live with skin disease. Dermatologists know how to maintain healthy skin, prevent disease, and treat the conditions they can't prevent. Above all, follow the preventative measures we've outlined here. You are the keeper of the gate. It's up to you to save your own skin. For more information and to receive a free booklet with more details of what you've just seen, please call the 800 number on your screen.
This program has been produced in cooperation with the American Academy of Dermatology and was made possible by an educational grant from Beiersdorf Medical, the makers of Eucerin. Beiersdorf has been committed for over 100 years to skin therapy and the lifelong importance of healthy skin. The American Academy of Dermatology is dedicated to patient care, education, and research, and serves as the definitive source of information about skin for the public.